Back in the land of Skyrim, I come across new foes. These foes were giants. Having defeated a dragon and multiple other enemies in the past, I felt that this was a challenge I could take, but I couldn't be further from the truth. Oh my god. I decided to move on to battles that I knew that I could win, and on my way, I found some soldiers. Well, some soldier wannabes anyway.
You there, citizen. This area is off limits. You're interfering with Imperial business. Yeah, so you'll have to pay us a fine. Say, 100 gold, if you insist.
Refusing to hand over the gold, I fought for my life, and I was doing pretty well, despite there being lightning involved. But in the end, I would fall, so I rested, and I came back with a new power I discovered I had. After killing them, I took back all loot that they took from me and any other innocents that had passed by them. After gathering all the loot, I went back to Whiterun, where my next mission would begin. As I arrived in Whiterun, I went to the local merchant to raise funds, as during this adventure, I wanted to gain a new home, as I was promised by the Jarl. I was willing to do anything to get the gold that I needed. I couldn't get it all by selling items, but I had a chance to do something that I loved very much, and that was fighting for gold. I could see why she was known as the Unbroken. She did put up one hell of a fight, but in the end, she had faced nothing like myself before, and I'd pull her down and became the one who made the Unbroken broken. Oh, yes. Upon exiting the building, I come across a woman who's been having trouble with a guy, and the guy seemed to be the one who was playing music. Apparently he was being very creepy and wouldn't leave her alone, so maybe I could teach him a lesson.
What did you just say? All I heard was a sound of jealousy.
And with him not listening, I would have to beat the lesson into him myself.
On my honor, Carlotta won't have to worry about me ever again.
And with successfully making all right in the world, we find ourselves heading towards the companions, which ultimately leads to me joining them? I head down a hallway to go talk to someone I'm recommended to talk to about joining the companions.
I might have some work you could do.
Would you now? Yes, perhaps. A certain strength of spirit.
Vilkas wished me to prove myself, and after just a few strikes, he was left impressed.
Not bad.
Knowing that he couldn't handle a lady, Farkas asked for me to go beat a woman. I'm not quite sure why, because I didn't really listen, but I could handle it. For the third time today, I've gone into this building to have a fight. Would I go 3-0? Would I be undisputed? Hell yeah, I would. And somehow, despite all the havoc I have caused, none of them seem to have a problem with me. I believe they to be just as uncivilized as myself. I went to let Farkas know that the problem had been taken care of, just for him to shortly after question how honourable I truly am. I began my adventure up north where I'd go to meet Farkas. However, along the way, I'd find myself having to fight wolves. I even found a mine shaft that I really wanted to go explore. Ultimately, all I did was pillage it and kill a few men. Really, it was probably one of the most disappointing mine shafts I had found yet. It seems Farkas had got a head start and had got there far before I did. He was standing there getting ready to fight, so I don't know what had happened while I was gone. Anyway, we proceeded on with the adventure. But let me tell you, it was the toughest one yet. I'm immediately greeted with a cavern with the stench of death. However, the first thing on my mind was to find as much gold as I physically could. After all, I wanted to buy a home when I got back. However, it wouldn't be long till we came face to face with Draugr, who would try to stop us on our adventure. However, I just saw them as a source of gold, so bring it on. The more the merrier, really. I continued on to loot and found potions of all sorts. However, my need to press buttons and pull levers, well, it almost screwed me and Farkas over here. However, Farkas had one dark secret he had kept hidden, a secret that would ultimately save us both, but also give us more danger going ahead. Oh my god. He was a werewolf. He was a beast. But with ease, he dispatched of these men, and he got me out of here, alive. Could I trust him? I knew I had to try, for he could kill me too. But maybe he wasn't so bad after all.
It's a blessing given to some of us. We can be like wild beasts, fearsome.
At this point, I can imagine Farkas was getting pretty sick of me. I was taking loot, which was almost getting me killed. Meanwhile, he was doing all the fighting while I was just doing that. Also, did he just send him launching? To get rid of any possibility of being swarmed, I'd put down a Draugr while they are still sleeping. At least, if the chance arose, I would. With the Silver Hand despising werewolves, therefore trying to kill Farkas, much like he's been saving my life, I had to save his. And with ease, we dispatched of these enemies, we dispatched of these foes. Man, Draugr, one after another, we would slaughter them all. Between me and Farkas, we slaughtered, honestly, what felt like an entire community of them. But before we could leave, there was one final battle for us to have. I had retrieved the fragment that we came here for, but it wouldn't come without a cost. That cost was a swarm of Draugr, a swarm so big that I don't think I've ever had a battle that went on for so long. I was tired. I needed to rest. I took my journey back home, through Whiterun. I went to buy my first ever home.